welcome back. World football's governing body FIFA is holding its big gathering today in Bahrain. Bosses are discussing changes to sponsorship in the wake of corruption and bribery allegations. New sponsors such as the Chinese electronics firm Hisense and Qatar Airways, in a deal announced actually just this week, are emerging. But FIFA is paying for recent scandals. It made losses of almost $400 million last year. Now, its president, Gianni Infantino, said the organisation was now reforming.
There are a lot of fake news and alternative facts about FIFA as well circulating. FIFA bashing has become a national sport, especially in some countries. And I understand also why. And it was right. And it was right. But FIFA has changed now. This is a new FIFA. We are new people here. And we act with facts, not with words.
Gianni Infantino. Now with me is sports sponsorship coach Toby Hester. His company is called Sponsorship Coach. Toby, FIFA has changed, has it, do you think?
Yeah, it has. Yeah, I mean, they've made steps to try and reformalise some of the processes at the top end to eradicate some of the corruption that was going on.
But on the other hand, it lost $400 million. Why was that? That's because sponsors aren't there?
I understand they lost $400 million because they were paying huge legal bills. But they have a hole of about $500 million going forward in the gap that they have where sponsors are not stepping up to renew or to step in to take place.
Were there legal bills, as far as you've heard, were they because of the corruption cases they were chasing?
I would assume so, yeah.
Right, and so are those continuing then? I know because a couple of their leading people who are leading a lot of these ethical investigations have actually been sacked, haven't they?
Well, I understand that the Garcia report's not due out until 2022, after Qatar.
And that's continuing, obviously.
That is continuing, and you know, in 5-6 years' time, the relevance of what comes out will have hopefully been eradicated by Mr. Infantino.
But with these people being removed, does that, from the point of view of your clients, these are people who want to sponsor games, want to sponsor FIFA games, does that inspire them with confidence?
I think it's going to be a slow burn for FIFA. If you look where the new money's coming from, it's coming from China, it's coming from the Middle East, obviously because of Qatar. But in the short term, I think big global Western European brands based in Western Europe and the US are going to be a little bit fearful about their image.
You say a little bit fearful, they're just not coughing up, are they? They're not paying.
Exactly.
And if that's going to continue for, what, how long?
Well, I think we're going to wait until the new, the World Cup 2026 is revealed, and I think they're fast-tracking that. Heard this morning that they're fast-tracking the decision pre-Christmas. So once that comes out, if it goes back into the US, Canada and Mexico as a joint bid, I think that will have an effect. I think US companies will probably look at that and say, yeah, we'll take a punt on this.
As long as the slate remains fairly clean.
Absolutely.
Until then, and that's up to Infantino, of course. How much damage, from the point of view of your clients, from the point of view of the companies that want to advertise, how much damage do you think it does them not being able to advertise or not feeling they can because they don't want to be associated with the FIFA brand at the moment?
Well, the World Cup is still the biggest, arguably the biggest sports event in the world. The challenge that they have is that it's actually quite a small window of activity. So on one hand, they're saying, we need to be involved. How do we get involved? If you take the Nike position, they ambush, and they do that very well.
Ambushed?
Yeah, well, they stick their logo around advertising hoardings around the venues and on TV, etc., etc. So I think brands will step back in, whether they lose out to some of the emerging brands from China and the Middle East, and emerging markets is to be seen. But I think the main thing is that Russia and Qatar are going to have huge impact on FIFA's ability to turn in revenues.
Really interesting. Thanks very much indeed, Toby Hester. But don't forget, you can get in touch with me, some of the team on Twitter. I'm on @BizRobertson. And that's all from Business News. For the moment, we'll be back again in an hour. Back to Lisa.
Thanks, Jamie. Now, we often hear from